Hello, hello. Not sure if anybody's here, but we'll give chat a few moments to catch up if anybody's here. I kind of messed up on the announcement for the stream. Lost track of the days with the holidays and released the start collecting guide this morning. Forgot to announce that there's a live stream tonight. Then I made the post and I accidentally used the same title of the tier list and the thumbnail, so I had to delete that announcement. And then I just made a new announcement like 10 minutes ago. So very sorry if nobody ends up tuning in for this one. That's on me. But we'll just take the opportunity to do some nice painting if that's the case. Oh, we do have someone here, Pissed Al Gabe. Hello, hello. How's it going, man? Welcome to the Hobby Hangout. Got a nice little assortment here of brushes I'm evaluating for jumping into these Thunderkin. Been putting it off for a while, so if I could hopefully finish these tonight, that would be great. Got the orange fully done, essentially on these guys. The heads are just placeholder because I had to have them like battle ready for an event. So I just stuck heads on and dry brushed them, but that's about it. The orange is all done. I just got to do like all the blocking now. So I got to block everything in with black. That's not actually going to be orange. So it's the boringest part, but after this is when the model looks best. So let's see for brushes what we're working with. Probably this is best. L. Smith, the buying guide video was very helpful. Thanks, man. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you found it helpful. It was a lot of fun to put together conceptually compared to the initial one. I'm not sure how long you've been with the faction, but during index days I had made another one, and this one was a lot more complex, and it was really cool to have everything kind of come together into distinct build paths for whatever people might prefer in terms of detachments. All right, let's work with this. It's been a while since I painted anything, actually. I have like a huge hobby lag in terms of just energy. So, but I felt like jumping in tonight, so hopefully we get some good work done. The lighting isn't the best when I'm streaming to paint, but should be okay. Let's thin this down. What are you guys up to tonight? Looks like there might not be too much of a crowd here today. Okay, I don't even know where to begin on this, to be honest. What should be orange? I need Jordan to reference his Thunderkin. There he is. Hello, are we ready to make Matt read chat? I don't know, Jordan. I messed up tonight, man. I didn't. I forgot to announce that there was a stream this morning, and then I did the announcement, and I accidentally reloaded all of the like the thumbnail, the title, and the description of when we did the tier list. And then I realized, so I deleted that, and then now I just made the announcement like 10 minutes ago. So I don't know if we'll have too many people here tonight, but that means I might get to actually paint. So a little bit of a double-edged sword. I'm working on the Thunderkin, and I kind of forgot how you did them. I've been basing all of my scheme references off of your already completed units. Austin, I've been finally building more Berserks and Earthshakers to try Delve Out for the first time. Anything major change since your big video with Tim? Yeah, the number of Berserks, man. So first of all, nice, working towards it. I've been kind of tempted as well, to be honest. Last night I had a bit of a manic episode. I saw this really sweet kit bash between Berserks and the Necromunda Prospectors. Oh, and it looked so good. And I almost went out and bought several kits of that just to do the bash. And then I realized, what am I doing? I've barely played any games in the past 2 months. let me just finish painting what I already own before I expand to something else. But yeah, I think the biggest thing were the number of berserks. I think Tim originally was running like 35, and now he's up to, I think, 45. And most lists are probably taking around 45 as well. They've actually cut down on the number of carriers that they're running, which is interesting. I think what I'm going to do for Delve, so I have 20 Berserks, and they all have Mauls, because that was always like, that was always the standard back in my day. So I think what I'm going to do is actually just pick up like 2 sets of Warriors and then one more box of Berserks. And for like half the money, I'll just kit bash everybody else's axes onto the Warriors. So like all my axe squads are Warriors, and then all my Maul squads are going to be the Berserks, the actual like official Berserks. I think that could be cool. Pretty cost-effective trick. I'm a sucker for a good bash. I'm a bit disappointed because there were a few things I really wanted to do for tonight's stream, and I underestimated how complicated they would be to first of all set up, or how accessible it would be. So I really wanted to make this a charity stream and set up, because I know on YouTube there's a way for you to have like a donation button, and all the proceeds go directly to the charity of the streamer's choice. So I thought that was cool. And then I looked into it before I went live, like how to set it up, so I couldn't find a button. And you need 10,000 subs before you're able to do that. Kind of sucked. That kind of ruined things, but I'll just be doing private donations, I guess, to that. It still kind of sucked. And then the other thing I wanted to look into was kind of like music, like copyright-free music to play, but that too seems to be a little bit more complicated than I thought. So, yeah, unfortunately, no music either. I'd like to hear about that. Oh, Jordan with the 60 Berserks in Delve. Man, it's just like, what else do you fit? You could fit 60 Berserks. Do you fit any forts? Or is it literally just Berserks raining down from the sky? Or raining up from underground? Tunneling up? Because I kind of like the forts. You get the extra 3 inches of movement. You get to stage really well. Oh my god, he just jumped off the base. Lovely. All right. Well, I guess that kind of makes it easier to paint. You suspect it's good to have 60 as well? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like the whole idea is just run as many berserks as you can, largely because they're so inconsistent and swingy, right? That's like always the biggest issue with them is, all right, you get them into combat, you have a bunch of tricks to do that, but then once they're there, it's kind of just like a Hail Mary, and hopefully they connect and end up deleting whatever they're trying to touch. I'm trying to batch paint 6 of these in one moment at one time. I know, Jordan, we were talking about this actually just yesterday, the ideal number to batch paint with. So I might have to cut this down to 3 because this might be a bit too ambitious, seeing how long it's taking me just to do one leg. No forts. It's just Zerks, Jaegers, Carriers, and Earthshakers. Playing Warhammer as the ancestors intended. I think you've been playing too much Blood Bowl, my friend. You're going for the home runs. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because like on the one hand, your opponent could just disrespect you and kind of push up and stand out in the open. But you also don't really mind because you're just staging turn one safely, and then turn two, hopefully you could like start being aggressive with them, or turn three all in. I guess you don't really mind, but the forts are nice for that. It's just extra movement and the staging potential. All right, he's kind of coming together. He's kind of coming together. If I could do 225 infantry for guard at 1.5 months, you could knock this out. Your will is iron, my friend. Mine is much weaker. Much, much weaker. It's also really hard to see. I do not have a good painting light here at my computer desk. I have two lights right now pointing at me, and it's still not enough to see anything. I'm doing my best to hold this in front of the camera as well, because I have a pretty bad habit of of painting it off camera. Nice of you to join tonight, Dracon. What are you up to? Did you hit on threes instead of fours? Yeah, it's odd. Like, there's a few things that are weird with them. Like, I think that's one of them. Like, if you're gonna make them hit on fours, they have to have some kind of ability to reliably get the plus one to hit, or have like access to reroll hits. Like, I think that would be cool. The fight on death is interesting, but even there, it's a bit consistent because you're gonna fight on death on a four, and then you're gonna only connect on a four, so you lose half at each instance of rolling. Oh, it's 3:15 for you? Okay, okay. The day is still young. The day is still young. It's 5 p.m. over here. Is it 5 p.m.? No, I lied. I think it's 6 p.m. Yeah, it's 6 p.m. I was thinking about it, you get a lot of mission play as well, lots of rapid ingress plays. Basically, every card you draw is achievable. That is true. That is true. It's just so many berserks, man. Oh my god. I hate detachments like that, to be completely honest. Even if it's the best one in the book, I hate that. When I was looking into getting into Age of Sigmar at the tail end of ninth edition Warhammer 40k, the biggest thing that stopped me from committing was the fact that as I was learning more about it, all the different detachments that you would get were so skewed towards specific units that it felt like the only way you actually get a force that lets you play everything is if you buy like literally like 6,000 points of an army. So that was a bit of a turnoff for me. I never liked that where it's like one unit is the all-star of that detachment exclusively, for just from like a hobbying perspective. So I so 60 berserks, man. I don't know if I'll ever be able to hit that, because what happens if next edition they're like, oh, yeah, we're gonna reduce the count down to like 3 times max that you're allowed to take, or in the new codex you can't run the delve detachment. And it's just like, that feels bad, right? What do you do with all those berserks? Dude, I was on Marketplace today, speaking of, and I saw a guy selling the original Star Collecting box, Combat Patrol box for $110 Canadian. and I sent him a message, and I might have pushed it by asking if he was willing to drop it to 100, and he left me on red. But that was going to be my entry into Delve if I had acquired that box, because that would have given me 5, 10, 15 berserks with the kit bashing, which would have been sweet. Instead of buying warriors again, would it be worth it so you to buy the Battle Force box? The problem with the Battle Force box for me, Austin, is that I don't need anything in it except for the berserks. Like, I own 3 Earth Shakers because I was a fool and I bought them at launch. I own 5 carriers because I was a fool and I bought them all at launch. And I have an Iron Master. A second one's probably nice to have for sure, but I have a Iron Master. So I'm really just buying the box to get 10 berserks. And I think it's cheaper for me if I just bought 10 berserks somewhere else instead. I didn't even buy a single version of the Battle Force box. The last one I bought 2, but I didn't need anything in this one. Did you end up picking any up? I don't know how well it's sold, to be honest with you, because there's a store here in Canada that is usually like the best place to pick up Battle Force boxes for their price. And they don't do pre-orders usually, but they started doing pre-orders. And they still have the Voltan box in stock. So I'm not sure how well it's sold commercially. Probably because it skews so hard towards Delve versus just like generalist all-rounder. But yeah, not sure. Okay, cool. Just coming along. Oh, hello, hello. Chat's starting to fill up. Welcome to the stream, guys. Happy holidays. Currently working on a squad of bikes. Nice. Nice, Andy. Very nice. That kit is a pain. That kit is a pain to put together and to paint. But it's good that you get it out of the way now. You'll be thankful for it when they become 18 bike meta again. I'm still running bikes in my list. I like the min squads. Just provide a lot of good utility for the army. Yeah, there's still a couple boxes in your stores, Bradley. Yeah, same here, man. You have 30 hammers, 30 axes, never have to worry about what you see is what you get, then cry in the corner because you wasted all the money on berserks. Well, what happens when suddenly you could take 2 of the power fists per squad? Hey, what about that? Or GW brings back war gear options, and now suddenly you have to actually pay a price for whatever loadout you decide to take differentially by squad. Jordan, are you still here? What color do you paint? Do you leave any orange on the metallic frame of the Thunderkin? Or is it all just metallic for you? I don't remember. I'm using yours as a frame of reference, but in grimdark style instead. Like, is this center one? I don't know if you can see it. Is this center one here orange for you? Damn, these brushes are good. I'll wait for Jordan to come back for that. You're working on your wolf list for Bay Area Open. Logan, 10 wolf termies. 10 wolf termies. Arjack. Support 2 dreads. Nice. Yeah, that seems pretty good. I know Michael Mann from Art of War has been having good success with Space Wolves recently. I'm not sure if that's similar to what he's been running, but I've heard that he quite likes the Logan brick. right. Not bad. It's coming together. Yeah, I don't know. I might not leave any of this orange on the actual frame. Got two of the Battle Force boxes, one from my LGS, another one online. Nice. It's a solid start for Delve, absolutely. Like, if that's the detachment you're looking to play, then all you literally need to do, I think it was like the last bit I did in my video I released today, is pick up like just a couple more kits and then a few more berserks and you're golden. Like, you have everything you need. Like 70% of it comes out of those two boxes you bought. GW's biggest crime with Zerks was making the Power Fists AP1 and Index so people didn't build them. Yep, brutal. You know, I haven't even looked at them now. I don't have any of them modeled with it. I bought a set of Berserks used, and the guy put the fist model on the mole grenade launcher base. So I'm gonna have to rip it off, and hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't do the math. Like, I don't know how worth it is. Like, if I actually need to go out of my way to figure out how to get more of them in my squads. I can't tell if this is... Oh, yeah. Okay, that's good. Oh, nice, Stephen. Nice. Steven? I have a friend, and it's pronounced the Steven way. Nice job, man. Came close to winning your fifth game ever. That's huge. Are you playing at 2,000 points, or are you working your way up still? I think Hearthband's a very solid detachment, especially into Marines. It's got some really nice breakpoints math-wise to help make that matchup a little bit more favorable for you. Super good. Also, it's just like super satisfying to have 10 Hearthguard absolutely nuke something. Full squad. Jordan, what color do you make the arms? Are the arms orange for you? I don't know if I should be painting these in black or not. And what about the little footrest that he stands on? Oh god. What about the back? The back's a mess too. Okay, I think this is like his leather or his suit. So we'll paint it that way. I don't even have a codex to reference for these images. Hey, Danny boy, what's up, man? What's up? How's it going? The EC King. I'm playing against Seb tomorrow night. I think I'm back, man. I think I'm back. We'll see how it goes. We gotta get a game in. I think that looks fine. 2,000 points. Yeah, nice, man. Solid. It's a really fun game, especially if you have friends to play with too. You guys could just like grow as players together, try different things out, improve the game. It's a great experience, a great feeling, and something I miss dearly. Matt referenced the box art. I forgot I didn't. I can't find a picture. The only picture I have that you sent me of these guys is the one on your old phone that they're in like 440p. All right, I gotta find a picture online of this. I'm gonna pull that up in a sec. I don't know what to make black here. I think, like, I don't know, should this thing be colored in? I think that should definitely, okay, hold on. Let's work backwards. Let's reverse engineer this. This definitely black. The wiring. You're gonna have your revenge with Fulgrim. I've heard you've been a menace. You need me to shut down your win streak again, eh? Yeah, I'm playing with Seb at the store tomorrow night. I think we're gonna be there at like 4:35 around, so a little bit earlier. Are you playing tomorrow night as well? We don't have an iPhone 17 picture in 2480p of my Thunderkin yet. I know. Somebody has to leak it. You gotta leak the pics, man. I need a reference picture. I don't have any Codex art to go off of here. I'm struggling. Yeah, with Sid. Oh, sweet, man. Sweet. Okay, cool. It's gonna be fun. We do a double. The winner plays against the winner. Okay, that looks cool. Yeah, I think that's gonna have to be metallic. Hey, Jordan, that doesn't look right, eh? With orange here and at the top. I don't know. It kind of looks nice. Meh. What do you guys think? I like four axe mauls and one fist after rolling like 50 times. The math works for me. That makes sense. That makes sense. I think even Tim had told me once that the mauls were actually pretty good now mathematically. So I guess I should probably figure out how to kit bash that. Or maybe that'll be what all the warrior bodies are used for. They're gonna all just be power fist berserkers. Dual power fist berserkers. Oh god, I'm sitting on my foot. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, there's like no lighting. Hopefully this lasts the rest of the model here. Yeah, I don't know if this has to be blocked in, but I'll do it in any case. All right. Yeah, I need more paint. And the Thunderkin are actually kind of long to paint up. There's barely any orange on them. my little makeshift wet palette over here. Yeah, for sure, man. Take care. I'll talk to you soon, Danny boy. We'll talk soon and we'll get a game in. Thanks for dropping by. Maybe that should have been orange. Time to buy another Battle Force from 622 defenders. Oh god. You know, actually, you joke, but one of the first persecution prospect lists that I was looking at running had full squads of the twos for the defenders. So it had 6 defenders in it, and it had the double earth shakers, and it had Bury. Oh my, how I was young and wrong and naive. Just a lot of cheap stuff, you know? Okay, I think the gas canister here in the back needs to be black. That looks good. That looks good. In terms of blocking. I think I did not matte varnish these well enough because there's still some gloss that's making my paint slip. All right, nice. I think this is the most productive I've been in any hobby stream ever. I think the worst I've been is that night I tried building 10 Pathfinders for Tau, and it took literally 3.5 hours. Okay, cool. I need to just get this brush between here somehow, which might not be incredibly easy to do. All right, sweet. I think he's blocked in. He's blocked in and he's locked in. How does he look back on his base? Okay. I think that works. I don't know if I want... I need a reference picture. Let's pull up a reference pic. Okay, let's see. Thunderkin Trans-Hyperion. Thunderkin, Trans-Hyperion Alliance. Yeah, okay, that's not orange. Okay, so that makes it easier. What about these guys? These are nice. Okay. If you guys have any Trans-Hyperion color schemes for your, what are these, Thunderkin, please send them in the Discord and I will take a look. I'm an extremely visual person and I need a frame of reference for these. Okay, I think that's it. I think I got it. Okay, cool. But the feet are orange, right? Yes, the feet are orange. Great. Oh, I forgot he wasn't glued. You painted yours Trans-Hyperion also? Nice, man. It's the best scheme. I was wrong to ever try doing something else. My whole army's painted in the like a Grimdark Chronos hegemony scheme, and it's nice. I like it. It's just once you go orange, man, there's something about it on the table. It stands out, and it looks so good. So you've been using Bury? Nice. You know, I don't know. He's interesting. He's more interesting, I should say, than he was previously, 95 to 115, because at 115 he was like basically the price of a Grimnir with 5 warriors, and I'd rather have the Grimnir and 5 warriors. But now at 95, he's come down enough that he might start seeing play just because of how more affordable he is. And what I actually saw in my own list building is while I was working on that video last night that I released today for the list builds, a lot of the time you could make some small adjustments and have 95 points left over, which, you know, if there was ever a time to try them out, probably now. I may have to reevaluate how I paint these in the future because it seems like there's way more black on this than there is orange. So I probably could have done it the other way around and saved myself a lot of time here. Oh, hey, Wix. Welcome to the stream, man. Nice to have you. Welcome, welcome. How's your night going? I know you and Drakon have been asking for a paint stream for a while now, so it's nice that you were both able to make it to this one. Okay, cool. That's one down. Excellent. Is everybody excited for the holidays? Lots of Warhammer purchases. This is actually the first holiday in a really long time where I don't actually get any Warhammer um, gifts that I was looking for. Like, when you usually give like family members a list or something of things you're interested in. I didn't put any Warhammer on it this year. I got more than enough stuff I need to finish painting up, which is why I'm figured a good opportunity to work on the Thunderkin. I'm repainting my entire army, so kind of held up. In fact, I actually started selling some of my things that I'm not using anymore. So I just sold some like random jump pack intercessors I had, and I listed some Chaos Space Marine I was painting, but I don't know. If it doesn't sell, I might keep that one because I worked pretty hard on it. Okay, cool. That's one guy down. What do we think of this? The helmet is going to be changed. It's just placeholder because I had to have it battle ready at some point in the past. But that's good. All right. I think this is a good framework for the rest of them. And then the black is going to be changed. Some of it will be leather. Some of it will be metallics later on, but just to block it in. The Greater Thorian League. Nice, nice. The Greater Thorian League is sick. They're great, man. That's like the OG. There's actually, I now frequently browse the Leagues of Votann subreddit, and there's a guy who posts his Greater Thorian League scheme on his Steeljacks every now and then, and my god, do they look good. It's a beautiful color scheme. It looks really nice. Hey, Hot Dice, welcome, man. Finally found my kin. Just started the Warhammer life, and of course chose the Short Kings. The Short Kings are the best, man. The Short Kings are the best. The sturdiest, the most humble, the most honorable of all the factions out there. You always go beamers when building your Thunderkin. It depends. I would say like 90% of the time you're gonna go with the conversion beamers. You'll rarely take the bolter, and if you do, you'll take it one time just to have like some long range strip cover on a 3-man unit. And the Gravs, people run the Gravs. I've seen them taken in Hearth band specifically quite a bit. I personally don't like them because I find if your opponent has any like -1 to hit, since you'll be coming in from reserves, you probably won't be on an objective, and your opponent might not be on one either, so you hit on 4s, and then if they pop smoke or -1 to hit, you hit on 5s. And I've just found that my Gravkin, like, they come on, they strip cover, they do 3 damage, and then that's all they do. And I just prefer the conversion beamers a lot more. Like, people actually do respect them. You effectively ignore stealth, which is this army's bane since everything is BS4. But it depends, again, on the detachment, of course. The good thing is, since you're new to Warhammer, you'll probably learn with time that there's kind of this whole thing with Xenos armies where people don't really know what the weapons look like. So you could just run whatever you want and say that it's, run a Grav conversion beamer and say that it's the other one instead. And nobody's going to bat an eye. As long as it's easy to identify and you're not confusing your opponent, it's no problem whatsoever from a hobbying perspective anyway. Put a Thunderkin in the hobby chat, similar color scheme. Yeah, of course, man. The orange won me over. I was a non-believer. I was swayed. I'm working over a varnish right now, which is kind of nice because while I block everything in that's supposed to be black, if I hit some orange, you could just kind of put a little bit of water and it washes off, which is nice. The problem is that everywhere else it's a little bit harder to get the paint to stick. Am I holding this in camera? I feel like I'm so bad at this. No, all right, we're good. I'll do it over here. This seems a bit better. I don't know where Ezreal is. Ez was supposed to come to the stream tonight. He was actually the one who encouraged me to maybe even play some video games instead a little bit later tonight. Deep Rock Galactic was one that he had suggested. So hopefully he shows up and we could maybe look into running that for a little while after we finish these Thunderkin. Yeah, I need a better light. Looks good. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. The magnet method isn't too hard either for the Thunderkin. What do you do usually to magnetize these guys? Because I was thinking about it, but it was a little bit daunting because it looked like you just have to drill through their chest, and I didn't know how to line that up with the magnet 100%. Also, 3 of these Thunderkin I got a long time ago, and they're resin recasted. So, like, you can't tell which ones they are. Neither can I, except for the one that popped off his base I saw underneath, and it was like, oh, yeah, that's a resin one. So I kind of don't want to drill into those because it's going to smell really bad and probably release toxic dust everywhere. But if there's an easy way to magnetize these guys, I am all in on that, all for it. Oh, covered this up by accident. Just wash the paint off. Getting Hecaton number 3 for Christmas this year? Heck yeah. Hecaton, yeah, baby. Dude, I love the Hecatons. I was lucky because last year, or the year before, I don't even remember, the Christmas Battle Force box had Hecatons in them. So I picked 2 of those up, and it was insane value. And it was cheaper than the Battle Force box this year on top of that, if you could believe it. It was an insane valued box. And ended up getting 2 of them. And then I found a third one on Marketplace in my area, dirt cheap for like $50 Canadian. And it was built and primed. Wasn't even painted, just primed up. So I had to jump on that. Yeah, we're at 15 viewers. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're having a nice night. Thanks for tuning in to the Hobby Hangout. Feel free to ask any Voltan questions, and I'd be happy to help out if you're new to the hobby. I gotta clean this off. Hold on, boys. Hold on. Got a bit of black paint on the orange. All right, cool. There you go. Do you have any tips for playing against Custodes? I've been playing against my friends Custodes a lot recently and can't seem to beat him. Is he running Grav tanks? Or is he spamming Custodian Guard? And also, what detachment are you playing? The army has a really bad AP problem for like Votan has a bad AP problem where it's all like AP1. So into a 2-up save army is kind of rough. So your best bet there is probably going to be like Need Guard or Hearth Band, or being a little bit creative with some of the units you take. I haven't played against Custodians in a long while, actually. Shaving the belt flat is what you need to do. You green stuff a blob on the weapon and place the other magnet on the weapon and play with it till it's flush. Oh, okay. You just green stuff. You don't even have to drill. That's good. That's interesting. I could work with that. Yeah, as long as I don't have to drill, I think I'd be good to do it. It seems like it's easy enough. What did I accidentally paint? Oh man, it's the second one. I accidentally paint one of these orange and the other one I cover black. What a shame. Okay, cool. Actually, this was easier when the guy broke off the base, to be honest. Oh no, that's not that bad to get underneath the foot. So after this is basically just do the highlights with the gray and paint the leather. There's not too much of it, but there is some. And then I hit the whole thing with my matte varnish, and then we do the metallics, and then we hit it with a nice dirty grimdark wash. And that's the scheme. Sit it a second, then you can glue it. Posted a magnet Thunderkin and Hobby to have 6 magnets and 3 unmagneted. Oh, nice. Okay. I'll check that out. Magnet on the belts lets the hands rest in their nubs, which keeps it from rotating too much. Cool. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was concerned with drilling, but if there's no drilling involved, should be fine. I hate drilling, to be honest. Magnetizing is such a pain in the butt. The last thing I magnetized were my steel jacks. I magnetized 12 of them. Or 6? 6 of them, yeah. I did 1 melee glued, 1 gun glued. Oh no, I didn't. I did 1 gun glued, and then the rest were all magnetized because you could do even the power fist instead of the sword. Yeah, so I did 12. That was insane. That was insane. It took so long. Wix asks, in Brandfast, oh, so is Brandfast a detachment you're sort of committing to? Why did you choose it? I'm having a great time with Hearthband. Yeah, so I personally love Brandfast. It really just supports the play style I like most in this game, which is just having like a lot of OC and dumping it on objectives and scoring your primary. I like transports, things in transports, which also supports that detachment. And I find like you still have some really respectable shooting output. You have some good board control plays as well, like moving land fortresses through walls, which is obviously one of their biggest limitations is the movement speed 10 is a little bit tight. So from a staging point, it's a little tough sometimes to get around the corner. So that solves the issue completely, which means if your opponent overcommits, to killing like your cheap stuff that are on objectives or your very durable infantry that are on objectives getting you primary, you just get to from across the board suddenly enter the shooting lane and engage with them, interact with them. I just really like that concept. The play pattern's also super nice on most maps. It's pretty easy for you to get like I was talking to somebody with this on the Discord. I think I posted it, but like the play pattern for how I built the list is you get it works really well on like something like layout 1 where you could hit 2 objectives, but even as long as you could hit the center, you hold your own and then you just dump with secure positions on the center objective, and your plan is to cap primary the first 2 turns that you can, being in hostile acquisition, and then you put your opponent at a disadvantage already, and if you deny them 1 time their primary and you're able to hold yours, you guarantee yourself the win. So it's really just like manipulating your OC, and just it feels like what dwarves do well. And I think partially why I like it a lot too is because towards the tail end of Index, the final list I settled on when I was playing teams was 30 warriors. And the 30 warrior build with the Landforth, with the Grimnir brick, and then some of them even splitting with Sagittars, it was just incredibly fun. And this is quite reminiscent of that, which I think is also why I enjoy it. But Hearthband is sick. Hearthband's really cool. Who doesn't love Hearthguard? I think that's sweet. I would like to try it out again. I played it only once. I would take it with Land Fortresses, and I would try running that. I know, like, I mentioned this guy's list a lot, Matsir Cleric, but that's basically the list I would try running. It's what I envisioned running back in Index days for Hearthband. It's something like that, except instead of Steeljacks, it was using Berserks. But I think that list is solid, and it's a super fun detachment. My problem is, like, I just don't like having such a big reliance on Deep Strike or Rapid Ingress, because you could be screened out, which is rough if that does happen. Is this supposed to be colored black? I can't even tell. I don't think so. No, I'm going to erase this. I just haven't really, in truth, like, I just haven't had a lot of time to play too much. And I think that was the biggest reason why I was like, I'll just stick with this thing that I know works well and that I really enjoy playing, which was Brandfast. And I was having good success with it because it just plays the fundamentals super well. But it'd be fun to just explore different builds, try Delve out once I get enough Berserks or Warrior bodies to proxy, or Kit Bash into Berserks. But yeah, Hearthband is cool. Okay, okay. You're on Hearthband. He's got 2 Graph Tanks in his list. They're just rough to get rid of. Yeah, are you running the double fort build, or are you running Ronnie's, which has no forts? I feel like Hearthband has the best shot into Custodes for sure, the easiest game, just because you get like that extra AP. So you're always pushing Custodes on their invuln, which is nice. And you have several Hearthguard bricks that are all doing that as well. Cool. That worked out. Okay, nice. GM9918, or 118, I should say, took Hearthband to a team's tournament back in November, managed to go 3-2. Big losses to Black Templars, CSM, but good wins against GK Drukhari and Imperial Knights. Nice, nice, man. Yeah, Black Templars were pretty cracked at the time. I remember that. So don't feel too bad about that one. They were pretty tough to beat, I think. They've since been reined in, so you should have an easier game into those. I assume you were also taking Hearthband? I think Hearthband's the most popular attachment. Like, if I had to guess, hold on. Actually, let's not guess. Let's do a poll. That'll be easier. Which is your... What is your current main detachment? Let's do Hearthband, Need Guard, Brandfast, Delve, and then other. Oops. Well, it went through without the others, so sorry, Prospector players, all one of you that are here. Your first tournament of Voltan, 3-2 is great, man. That's awesome. That is totally fantastic, and you shouldn't feel bad about that at all. That's great performance, especially into some of these tougher armies like Black Templars at the time. I have a teams tournament lined up in February, and I'm going to be the team captain. I'm leading our team B at Slugfest. It's going to be fun. The guy who hasn't played in a few months, so I gotta really just like brush up on the meta and everything now. So I'm starting to get some games lined up, and just been getting back into the excitement of the game again, which is nice. I'm playing against the quad chicken list tomorrow with Bellacore. See how that one goes. It's been terrorizing some tournaments lately, last I heard. Okay. Oh, shoot. All right, nice. I was in time to save it. Delve players rise up. Oh, true. Delve would do pretty well, I think, too, into that. The thing that scares me about Delve too, though, is that you don't really have any means of countering Armor Contempt, which is rough. I remember in my Hearthband game, I played against the new White Scars, and he was running several dreadnoughts like Redemptors and a Brutalis. And I went into a Brutalis that popped Armor of Contempt with 5 Berserks. He was on 4 wounds. I went in and I did 3 damage to it total. And then it proceeded to just absolutely murder my Berserks. So I think that's an actual issue for Delve. There's a few issues for Delve. it's it's a tough one to play, and it's very high risk, but it has the biggest potential to push for high differential, which is important, especially in teams. I'm thinking of taking Brandfast. I just feel like on WTC especially, there's a lot of maps where the large ruins let you safely stage a land fortress. I think back to even like the index days when I did tournaments and they were on WTC. On many of those maps, I think Brandfast would be really annoying for people to deal with as a defender. And I don't think I need to be like super protected either as a defender, which is nice because you kind of just do your own thing. I'd be curious to try the new guard matchup. That I haven't played. I haven't even played much into old guard. I think just a couple of times during index. So I'm curious to see how that matchup would go on WTC. I think on WTC, I have a decent chance of pulling a win if I try to be non-interactive with the tanks and leverage secure position to just make it non-interactive. Sweet. I think that's number 2 done. Yep. Nice. Number 2 is, oh no, I still have to manage to stick my brush in here and get his arm. There you go. That's number 2 done. Hell yeah. 2 Thunderkin down. Yeah, you have to pray for the battle shock test at -1 to be your anti-OC. That's true. That is why there's a ton of value in the Earth Shakers. Yeah, that's solid advice, Bastion. Definitely. Like when the wardens come out, you need to be able to kill them. Steel jacks are really important. I can't find them anywhere for sale. I think you're okay without the jacks, man. Honestly, that was the weirdest. That was the weirdest unit with the codex because when everyone saw that stat line, myself included, it was like, oh god, look how cheap and effective these things are. You're gonna need to max your list out with them, and I think with some time, people have seen they're okay. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just a little bit tame. The damage 1 is what really kills them, to be honest with you. And the low AP for the ranged ones is criminal, in my opinion. Ian, welcome, man. Good to catch you in a live. Going to be building some Voltan too. Let's do it, man. Join in on the fun. As my channel members say, the hobby stream is usually when viewers get to hobby more than me because I spend too long reading chat. Samurai 619, my first time in a live here, trying to finish marathoning my Kroot because 2026 is my year of Voltan. Nice. I also have a Tau army, and I also have Kroot that I need to finish painting. So yet another Voltan player who also sports Tau for the greater good. In fact, actually, my Tau have the what is the league that's green for Voltan? The UCSR, I think it's called. They have those transfer sheets on them, and they're painted green, so they're kind of like commissioned Tau suits that are owned by the Voltan. That's how I've rationalized owning two armies. It's really one army with extra steps. Trash Planet, watched your buying guide video earlier. I got 30 Hearthguard for 60 euros, so I'm relieved that Hearthbound is viable without shelling out for 2 land fortresses. Totally, man. You do not need land forts inside of Hearthbound to make it work. We have one of our channel members, Ronnie, who is doing exceptionally well right now, running a 0 land fort variant, and he's getting like pretty regular like 4-1 placings at GTs, which is pretty nice. Yeah, that's true, definitely. You could also try to slow them down. Like, you could sack things to try to tie them up or to try to just move block them, make it a little awkward. Like the Jaegers, for example. Like, don't be afraid to move block with your Jaegers to slow down the Custodes player. It's really annoying and slows them down quite a bit. I would love to love brand fast, but so many strats are locked to hostile acquisition, which is a problem when the detachment rule is basically not working properly. Yeah, so I do agree with you that the yield point don't work properly. The yield points don't work properly, I should say. You never really get the agency to go back and forth, which is annoying. But I think that's kind of like by design, that the first few turns of the game, you just guarantee yourself the ability to take over those objectives with the hostile acquisition, or sorry, acquire the primary, and then you switch gears, and you're going to have to lean heavily towards the enhancement that lets you dump yield points with the Thunderkin brick. Ideally, you get to use that 2 times in the game, which is going to help a lot. Oh, Danny with the $25 gifted donation. Thanks so much, Danny, for the kiddos. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. It's super kind of you. Super kind for you. Super kind of you, I should say. Sorry, I'm exhausted, but thank you so much, man. It's really generous. I appreciate that. I'll be sending it over to charity. This was supposed to be a charity stream, and unfortunately, I didn't know this, but you need 10,000 subs before YouTube lets you do a charity stream, because like when people donate, obviously YouTube takes a cut, but I didn't know that you needed 10,000 subs to do a formal charity stream. So it was like my soft compensation for that, because I felt bad because I announced it in my video today, is I'm just going to privately give money to the charity event out of my own volition. So it was unfortunate. I think it would have been a really fun way to kind of like, kick off the holidays. But thank you, man. I really appreciate that. It's generous of you. Wix with the $6.99 gifted donation. Thank you, man. Also for the kiddos. I don't have any kids, so it's going to go towards my cats, which is, I guess they are my kiddos. So that's kind of you. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. You guys are super generous. Thank you. Thank you. It's very kind of you. Nice. Seems like everybody's giving you some pretty solid advice for the Custodes matchup. That's great. I'm a bit out of the loop. What are kind of like Voltan's like toughest matchups right now? I know if Jordan's here, he's gonna cry guard, and he's right. That's like the most cracked detachment right now in the game. I think David from 40K Fireside just finished cleaning out a GT or a major with it. Luckily, we have a guard player on our team. So that's going to actually be nice if they don't get toned down before February hits. It's 100% guard, yeah. I knew it. Was going hard on Brandfast, but tried Hearthguard against Blood Angels and tabled him on turn 3. Yep. Yeah, I think Hearthguard is super well positioned into the Marine meta. Like, it's just so many good breakpoints. They don't really have invuln saves. They're usually always like toughness 4 for their infantry. So you just wound them on 2s naturally because you pop the extra strength stratagem on them. And you just pick them up like it's nothing. Even in index days, I remember when Hearth Band came out, and I think we did a live stream to make lists for it as well. And what we ran was just minimum size squads of Hearthguard because it was like you just drop this down and it deletes whatever it sees for Marines. It's like the perfect anti-Marine meta around the time that Marines got their buffs and people were like, oh my god, Marines are going to be everywhere. So it really is super strong into the Marine matchup. Absolutely, man. Grizzled Veterans? Yeah, it's Grizzled Veterans. It's so good. It's got everything. It's like literally got everything you could need in a detachment. How did I paint this on this guy? Did I do it like that? Oh, I kind of covered it a little bit. Yeah, I did not varnish these well enough. My paint's sliding everywhere. Cool. Delve actually has a path to victory versus them. Battle shocks turn off their orders. Their AOC is only in shooting. The Bulgrin -1 damage is not as good versus our damage 3 Zerks. How many wounds do they have? Don't Bulgrin have 3 wounds? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen them. Bastion, I think they do get a fall back and shoot with their orders. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Maybe Jordan could reconfirm. I'm not super familiar with them. Jordan's seething hatred for the guard might be his good source of information. I'm pretty sure they have one to fall back and shoot. The poll results are in, and 43% of you are playing Hearthband right now. 22% of you are playing Delve. Another 22% of you are playing Needguard. And just a humble 13 are on Brandfast. I think this is genuinely quite representative of what we're actually seeing in terms of popularity at a wider scale as well. Hearthband is definitely the most popular, followed by Delve, and then Needguard, and then Brandfast. Definitely. Why is this paint so thick? I'm using the new black paint today that I got. I've been using historically Abaddon Black, which I don't really like. And then I tried using Army Painter Matte Black, which was okay, but I was having some trouble with it. It came out really nice in an airbrush. Well, it was really thick to put in an airbrush, but when it did come out after it was thinned, it had a really nice finish to it. Now I'm trying Vallejo Black. So far, this applies the best. I have to say, it definitely applies the best. It's a little bit too thin. No, they don't have fallback and shoot orders. Okay, I was wrong. If they did, how mad would you be? Sorry, guys, just give me 1 second. Just gotta answer my brother here. Cool. Okay. How far along am I in this guy? Not very far. Alright, why is it not applying well to this individual? I jinxed it. I was too excited about my Vallejo paint. I will say the best part about doing the hobby streams is that I could keep my chat in front of me because it's on my monitor, right? And my top down is covering the actual screen. So I get to just read the comments in front of me rather than having to keep turning my head, which is pretty nice. And those are the results. I gotta get on Delve. I think listening to Liam VSL talk about how he sees the game is just very inspiring and also discouraging because we don't have the speed or the melee outside of Delve, the tools to kind of flex those engagements and dictate where the fight happens in melee. outside of that detachment. Though I think he actually is pretty positive on Hearthband. So he has. There's a few places. So he has. There's a few interviews that he's been on publicly on YouTube that you can find for free. There's also one that I watched on his kind of like his melee masterclass video. That was over on 40K Fireside, and that was a great watch. It's basically like 4 hours of him kind of just like talking through his logic of how he sees the game, like using uh, like melee armies, and it was eye opening to be completely honest with you. And if you watch his finals game, like the thing he's really good at, I find that is something that's quite terrifying for like I think a lot of people is the guy just gladly gives up primary in terms of saving resources, and he'll give up primary for like 2 turns and have a huge deficit. But as long as that means he has enough resources left to do like an insane push at the end of the game where your opponent can't recover from, and then you just walk out with more points than your opponent does. So I guess that ability to kind of like score project and be confident in it enough to follow through with your plan is, I think, a skill that differentiates him a lot from other top end players. Is I've never seen somebody be so confident in that approach, genuinely, than watching Liam play. It's insane. Like at the London Grand Tournament, I should say, you see that also. Mm-hmm. I'm 100% gonna have to go through this again tomorrow when there's sunlight and double check I didn't miss anything. Yeah, that's exactly it, Jordan. It's exactly that. The deliverability and the damage is like of that deliverability is so key. And Delve at least does it does give. You do have that deliverability. The consistency, debatable, but the deliverability is there, and that makes it a great tool. And just also like the way that you could control melee matchups as a melee army is also pretty insane. It's just like a different game. It's like literally just feels like a different game. It's crazy. Are the days of need guard done for you, Jordan? Have you ascended to your final form? I think you're waiting for Barrick, or Barry, as we called him today. I have high hopes for that guy, dude. If he gives like, even if he gives reroll charges, not reroll charges. Oh my god, if he gives advance in charge, that would be huge. That'd be a nice win outside of Delve for Berserks. Even in Delve, it'd be nice to have. You just get 2 units that get to benefit from it. But if he has like sus or reroll hits, that consistency I think is going to be critical. All right. Almost done. Thunderkin number 3. Yeah, the Shooty Jacks have been rather lackluster into Marines due to the Oath of the Moment. Very good into Orcs. But so is everything. Yeah, into Orcs, they slap, man. Into Orcs, they're great. You know, ironically, you wouldn't think it, but I actually had pretty good success with them into Death Guard. Into, weirdly enough, Death Shroud Terminators, because the Shoot and the Overwatch has the dev capability, and I've actually managed to wholly pick up a squad within a turn of like moving up to shoot it. They charge you, you Overwatch on 4s, and then I picked up everything but the character leading them, which is, you know, it could happen because you're hitting on 4s and you have quite a lot of volume. So that when that happens, it's kind of funny. But I think they needed something extra, like either natively sus 1. I thought that their shooting output would mirror their melee capabilities on their other data sheet, being the melee guys. But I think if they had either like the increased AP, like the melee guys do, or native sus, they'd be a lot more interesting. But I could see play for them in some detachments, probably Brandfast, because you always have sus 1 and Brandfast. I think maybe even like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but even like Hearthfire, where you get the sus on demand. I think that's the detachment rule. I don't even know. But don't build for Hearthfire. I feel like one day somebody's gonna show up with like a Hearthfire build and it's gonna rock the world. Just because it's like such a weird skew of Steeljacks that nobody's ready for it. But I don't really think there's anything there, unfortunately. It's just a little bit too safe. Is this supposed to be black? How did I paint this? Yes, it is. Cool. I don't know if that's supposed to be colored. that. Okay, cool. Howdy, sir. Saw you live and just want to say your vids have been super helpful for a new player looking to make a home with Votann as my first army in Warhammer. Welcome, son, bro. Welcome, welcome to both the stream, the hobby, and to the faction. Welcome to the Kinhold. I'm glad you found them helpful, man. I really appreciate that a lot. It's a great faction. It's super fun. It's very thematic, and they I think are still a great way to kind of like jump in and learn the game. Teaches you the fundamentals because you don't really have too many other tricks to rely on. So as long as you kind of refine that skill, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this army for sure. Which detachment are you most interested in? And I hope you don't say Hearthfire. All right, this guy's coming along. So much hinges on Barrack. Yeah, I know. I know, so much. So much. If he naturally advances and charges, he gives good tool for non-delve detachment, so I would like to see that on his data sheet for sure. Yeah, I agree. It's one of those things now where we're kind of screwed because of Delve, right? Because they can't make Berserk-oriented things too good, or else Delve becomes too good. But the problem is that outside of Delve, where Berserks don't have any support, they're like super lackluster. And I hope Barrack somehow is a middle ground between both of those. If he could give something that's good for Delve and good for Berserks in general, then that'd be great. Like, hopefully, their consistency. But I also would like to take Berserks. I do take them outside of Delve, but they need some support. They need some love. They're like stat lined, or yeah, they're like costed like they're a Glasshammer melee unit, and they're kind of stat lined like it as well defensively. But the melee just isn't as reliable as those other units in the game, in my opinion. Sustain 1 would be neat, but I wonder if they had 4 wounds instead, would that help them out? If the Berserks had 4 wounds, yeah, that'd be crazy. If you double up the Berserk wound count, I mean, at that point, I'd rather they have like 4 wounds, no save, and a 4 up, feel no pain. You know, it's like if anything touches them, it goes through, but they could spike. But that would be bad. That would be dangerous for sure. But it would be fun. I still think one of the most frustrating, I was just a memory came to my mind, but I think one of the most frustrating things still about the army is the consistency in output and damage dealing capabilities. And I was reminded of this thinking back to index days when there are so many times where it's like you have to overexpose on your side to kill something, and it's like you would tell your opponent I don't know how much this is gonna do, so I need to bring everything out in case it doesn't do enough. And I was just thinking about that for Berserks as well. It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing. All right, we're almost done with our. Oh God, it's only the third one. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't think I have it in me to do all of these. I'll try my best. All right, this looks good. Quick spot check. Looks fine. Yeah, that looks good. Ah, I forgot this. I knew I forgot something. Like that was marginally faster than the others. Why? Cool. So I think this was a resin one because the paint did not stick as easily as the others. So I definitely think this was a resin one. All right, great. Number 3 down. What's happening in chat? Played a TTS game with Hearthguard with one of the lads teaching me the ropes, but I genuinely want to try out all the flavors on TTS so I can start buying models. Nice. Okay, so you're like really, really new. You haven't even purchased any yet. Well, my friend, let me tell you, today is your lucky day because I just released a start collecting guide for Votan, a competitive one. So if you haven't checked it out, that could be a great place to start for sure if you want to maybe test more things on TTS and then kind of choose which detachment you're more partial towards. Check out the video and it'll help guide you towards making those purchases as efficiently as possible. But this is the best part about the hobby when you jump in and kind of everything's super new to you still. It's just a really fun feeling to kind of just get invested and do the research and play with lists. Super fun. I wish they could just say Berserks cost 10 more points or something in Delve. It's not like this is a video game. Literally, just, yeah, I do agree with you actually. Like it is kind of silly that there's all this like, there's all like this like mystery, and it's like, oh no, like the thing that's a problem didn't get touched. Like we have to wait till 3 months from now. It's like, just do it online and just put the code in and change the number on the PDF and re-upload it, and we're good. You know, I do agree with you. I think it is silly. Oh, 4 wounds on Steeljacks. Yeah, okay, yeah. I personally think the issue with the Steeljacks isn't so much the durability as it is their deliverability and their damage, because they're fighting with Thunderkin for a spot inside of a land fort, which is really annoying. And that means they either walk up the board or your Thunderkin don't go into land fort, which does work on some maps, but still it's a little bit annoying. And I think the damage 1 is a problem. They have so many attacks, it's damage 1. I think it would have been nice if... I think if the fist was better. The fist needs to be better. I think that's the perfect solution. You have... Okay, you could go high volume damage 1 attacks if you're fighting like a horde meta, or you could go like lower volume of attacks, better quality damage 2. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Yeah, not Berserks, holy moly. Yeah, sorry, man. I'd like to see Steeljacks have one more AP or die. Exactly, exactly. That's what they're missing. They're just missing, and it's there. It's already there through the Power Fist. They just have to adjust it. They did the exact same thing with Hearthguard in Index, and they didn't learn their lesson, and they still have it now, which is like there's one weapon that's always just a million times better across all targets. There's no comparison, and that's the issue I think with the Jacks. They need to have a bit more of a balancing impact on their 2 damage fist weapon. It's heavily needed. Give the Jacks 8 inches of move. I thought they were going to have 7, dude, because they have these long legs. They're robots, and they were, I remember they were teased to us as being like this enforcer, like objective bodyguard unit. And I'm like, okay. Like they're kind of like RoboCops. I feel like, you know, if you're working with the law, you got to be pretty fast on your feet. Not these incredibly slow and barely lethal robots, right? That these automata that just kind of march in. I thought they were going to be fast. So I'm with you on that one. I think they needed to be like 7 inches. That's what I was picturing. All right, 3 of the Thunderkin down. They're kind of coming together. Blocking it out is super important because you get to see kind of like what your final scheme is going to sort of look like. And it also lets you get a solid shadow in for working your new layers up for different colors. I'm not a painting expert. That's kind of how I learned it. And I think it works pretty well. And now I kind of get an idea of like how contrasted my orange is going to be versus the dark once it's highlighted and washed and matte varnished. On to number 4. I think I could afford to go for a bigger brush, to be honest here, especially for this. I'm going to try going for a bigger brush. Let's see. This is pretty big. These are new brushes, so we'll see how long they last. I have the brush I was using before I got this as a gift. It's an early, no, it wasn't this was a birthday gift last month. Was broken in half and or like half the bristles missing. So it's nice to actually have something that functionally works. Okay, that's way too thin. I gotta add more. All right. So a little fun fact, Thunderkin were the first unit I saw painted in the color scheme of my original army that made me go out and buy Votan as a kit. It was the Thunderkin. I saw that, I said, oh my god, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I was all in. This guy has a bunch of little hair on him. It's been a while since these guys have seen the table. How's the mic battery doing? Let's see. No, we're good. We're good. Halfway. Where's all this dust coming from? I see chat moving. Just hold on. Let me finish this guy's leg, and then we'll catch up and take a breather. I have a bet with Jordan that I'll be able to finish hobbing my goal tonight. The winner gets to play Belagar next to Total War campaign. Cool. I just have to do the back of the foot. Yeah, this brush is not ideal for small things. All right. Sweet. Steady 18 people watching. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Don't be shy. Say hello in chat if you're new to the stream or to the channel. Random login. Hello. Got an Xmas present, came in early, and was told I could open it early. 2 boxes of steel jacks acquired. Someone heard me complaining about never finding them. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that's a steal. They sold out. They were the first unit, I think, of the Codex to sell out like basically instantly. And I guess largely because they had so many different build loadouts you could do. Like you had the ranged variant, you had the melee variant, and then they had 2 different loadouts for the melee variant, which make them pretty popular. And people were kind of speculating they'd be the new hotness of the Codex. Are y'all excited to play Voltan in Total War 40k 10 years from now? Yeah, man, I can't wait. My kids, my grandkids, one day will be able to play as the esteemed kin in modded Total War Warhammer. Or even just the official DLC, I guess. Oh my god. I'm not sure what to make of it, to be honest with you, because I've never played Dawn of War, and I've played a lot of Total War. I've never played Dawn of War, and it doesn't look like anything Total War-esque that I've seen before. Obviously, it's a brand new engine, and I don't think it translates super well like one-to-one. But I'm very curious to see how that plays out. I've heard it looks more Dawn of War than Dawn of War does, is what I've heard people say. I don't know how true that is. If anybody here has played either of the games and can expand on that for me. Some folks are saying that this was our last data slate before 11th. How likely do you think that is? They can go untouched before the new edition. I don't think this is the last one. I think we'll get one. I think we'll get one in March. I still think we'll get one in March. They're probably going to drop this 11th edition in late June, early July. So I could see them doing one more inside of March. However, I don't think Voltan are going to get touched. That's the problem. So in whatever state we're in, when Barry comes out, or Barrack, I should say, I think that'll be how Voltan will live the rest of 11th. Or the rest of 10th, I should say, sorry. I mean, it's still crazy to me that the game evolves so quickly, the pacing of it, that we're already moving into 11th edition. This is the first edition that I actually actively played in from start to finish. And I just don't think the cycle is long enough. It's like we're on the treadmill, you know? Like we finally all have our codexes, and I think there's a little bit more time that we could cook still, you know? Like just let people play with their toys. They don't have to feel like, you know, they have to go buy new things. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like some small things to change it up, obviously, after 6 months. New mission pack. I don't know. I don't think we need to hop edition so soon, but maybe other people feel differently about it. I thought 10th was overall a solid edition. It had its hiccups at the start with Eldari, and even towards the end with Eldari, and some questionable changes with Knights, but overall it was solid. Dude, these brushes are sick. Is this what it's like to actually have good tools to work with? Is this what painting was meant to be? More than just a single bristle on a half-torn brush? It's almost relaxing. Why? It's almost relaxing. I love my Thunderkin. Finally finished building, magnetizing them. To be honest, I only magged them because I wanted to try it out. Still don't know which gun is what without opening the instructions. Exactly, man. That's the thing. If you don't know what gun they are, and it's your army, imagine everybody else. You could just run whatever you think looks coolest, as long as you're not confusing your opponent, and nobody's going to bat an eye. Nobody's going to worry about it. I've run a call as an E-champ at an RTT. One guy, a single guy said, "Hey, is that a call?" And I said, "Yeah, he's my E-champ." And he said, "Oh, cool." And that was that. So excited to see how 40k Total War turns out. Yeah, me too, man. What color scheme are you going for? So this is my Trans-Hyperion Alliance scheme. I'm making my way through repainting my army slowly. So I got, so far, only a set of 10 warriors and 10 Jaegers that are finished fully. I could go get them if you want to see what they look like. And now this is my next batch of guys is going to be the Thunderkin, so 6 Thunderkin. And then after this, I'm going to do a vehicle. So I'm either going to do, not tonight, but like in terms of my plan, once these guys are finished, it's going to be either a Hecaton, Land Fortress, or a Sagittar. because I have one land fort that's kind of just like base coated. He's not fully in my old scheme, so I don't have to actually like strip the paint or anything, which is nice. I could just reprime it and keep painting. And then I have a Sagittar, which I do use in my Brandfast list. So I don't feel like it's a total waste to start there and maybe just get an idea of how to apply this scheme to vehicles. But it's fun. It uses oil paints for the orange, lots of weathering. So the orange is all done with oil paints over a pre-shade, and then everything else is just painted. And there's a lot of like oil washes that are applied periodically, some varnishing, chipping. It's a really fun scheme, and it looks good once they're all done. I'm sure the camera here doesn't do it justice, and the poor lighting, because I could barely see it myself right now. But yeah, it's Trans-Hyperion. Actually, I should have a picture. If you're in the Discord, Frontline, if you're in the Discord, this is actually Frontline Gaming. Oh, well, welcome. That's pretty cool if this is an actual official Frontline Gaming. I have a picture of them in my Discord. If you're on the server, just go to the Voltan pics and search for my name, and you'll be able to see the warriors and the Jaegers that I painted up in this scheme finalized. I think they look pretty cool, but I will not judge my own my own minis. I'm originally an orc player building my Votan army with orc heads. That is heresy. That is heresy. The Memnir strategist is kind of adorable with the big knob head on him and his tiny hands. I feel like the Memnir should have been a Gretchen. Like you should have had a little Gretchen head on him, or there's like a Gretchen climbing his shoulder or something. I think that would have been cute. Dude, you have to send pictures of that army. Again, same to you. If you're not in the Discord, it's free of charge. Just join it. There should be a link in the description here, probably. I usually just copy the same descriptions over and send us a pic. I'd love to see that. I'll even pull it up on the stream and people could take a look. A little Gretchen Memnir. Do you just use the commando kit as the Jaeger infiltrators? I feel like that one kind of just writes itself, you know? The OG Dawn of War was a traditional RTS, where Dawn of War 2 was more MOBA light. Then it's Dawn of War 3. We don't talk about Dawn of War 3. I've heard people say that. Actually, no, I can't say it. I haven't heard anybody mention Dawn of War 3. Maybe it doesn't exist. And the new one looks like it's going back to the OG. Okay, the new one isn't even out then. Okay, okay, I see. I haven't played any of them. I just know that they're quite loved by the community, except for number 3, which doesn't exist. Okay, this guy's almost done. So for anybody who's new tonight, who just joined in, I'm just basically blocking out all the black, or rather non-orange parts on my model. And then we're going to be going in afterwards to pick out these details, like highlight the black, pick out the leather, and then hit the whole thing with a matte varnish. And then we're going to do the metallics, do a nice grim dark wash, and it's going to pull everything together. So I'm basically just leaving the orange that I've painted and that I'm happy with on the model, and I'm coloring in black everything else that will not be orange, as it gives me kind of like a reset and a place to work from, and you get to kind of see how your scheme's going to look. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Can't wait to see them on the tabletop. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Me too. I'm excited. It's keeping me motivated. Austin says, I've only recently started playing officially, and learning everything in 10th has been interesting to be for sure. I'm very curious how much 11th will change, really. I've heard, it's all rumors obviously, but I've heard that 11th is going to just be like soft changes to 10th, like quality of life improvements, and it's going to maintain that same framework of what 10th is, because it has been working extremely well for them. And the game overall, I think, is in a pretty good place rules wise and balance. So I feel like they're going to maintain, like, detachments are, I think they officially said detachments are still going to be like playable and used, which means they're keeping that core framework, and they're probably just going to do some slight tweaks, hopefully making cover a little bit more interesting in terms of how it works, and other quality of life improvements to the rules that are a little bit janky or weird. I think this guy's done. Well, the black block in. I think he's good. Yeah, nice. Oh, I just have to do his arm. I just have to do his arm. Please. Oh no, and the metal frame. How silly of me. Anyone here fight against Vitrix Guard yet? Haven't done it yet, but I heard how dumb strong they are. I have heard that they're quite tough. I haven't encountered them yet. They seem to be doing pretty well overall. I think especially at mid tables, they're going to be a big problem for people. I think Jordan had random math, and Hearthband had the best damage into them. Pretty sure. Hell yeah, fellow Trans-Hyperion Alliance kin. It's the best one, man. It's the best one. I'll post a lot of what I've done so far in the Discord later. Nice, man. I will check it out. So please do post some pics. Hot Dice says, I just started Votan and I had to choose the Jaegers to paint first. Oh well, at least it has to get easier from here. The Jaegers are not bad. They're not too bad, I think, depending on what scheme you end up going with. Because the cloaks are basically just all leather. So it's quite flexible in terms of how you want to approach that. You can go with the brown leather, or you could do like just black with some highlights. And then you just pick out the main color on their chest piece. It's tough because they have faces, and the faces are unavoidable, which could be difficult, especially if you're new to painting. I still struggle with them. What I had done, I'll actually go, after I finish this guy, let me go swing over to my desk, and I'll actually open the bin and bring my Jaegers out. And I'll show you what I did with those. Give you a little bit of a trick for the eyes and the faces. Let me just finish with this guy. All right, cool. All right, nearly done with number 4. These helmets too, I have to change after. That's gonna be the last thing I do, just in case I have to do an event before I get to them. Okay, cool. Number 4 is done. Yeah, this one was a breeze to get through compared to the other guy. Haven't painted it yet, but I'll pull some. Yeah, for sure. I just want to see the kit bash, how that looks. It's very creative, heretical, very much so for the kin. The orcs versus dwarves is a feud that is as old as time itself. Oh, you're fully building the Voltan as normal, just head swapping. Okay, okay. I wanted Voltan to be my turning army since 5 games of work seems mentally draining from the sheer number of dice needing to be rolled. Yeah, you'd have to do a lot of prep, keep your dice on the side, and just be actively ready preemptively to roll them in batches. That's like what it feels like to resolve a Hearth guard squads of shooting. Is nuts, especially in Index when it was like the full D6 for the number of shots on the grenade launcher. It's crazy. Do you think Voltan will get anything like a Dreadnought? Yes, I do. I thought we were going to get one this release wave. I think what's next for Voltan is going to be Jump Pack and Dreadnought. That's my theory. Those are the next 2 things we're going to get in 11th edition. Jump Packs and Dreadnoughts. I think Jump Packs are going to come in Kill Team, and then a Dreadnought's going to be our release. Maybe even it'll be like a character Dreadnought. Who knows? But I could definitely see one. Like, some kind of like mech suit that is mining oriented. It makes sense. It makes sense thematically. I could totally see that lining up aesthetically as well. Discord. I don't have any bots set up, so sorry for that. You're gonna have to manually click it in the description unless I could actually find it myself. Let me see if I could pull up a link for you guys. Yeah, a few of you guys aren't in. Let me see. How do I invite people? How do I get a link? Okay, here you guys go. You can join here. It's totally free, and the community is growing quite a bit. You can post your pictures in the Votan picture channel on it. I'd love to take a look. Threw some in the work in progress channel. Okay, let me take a look at this. Is this you? Yeah, this is you. Okay, cool. I see them here. Oh, those actually fit much better than I thought they would. Especially the mad scientist. Oh my god, the grot miners. That's so good. That's so good. Oh my god. The steel jacks are funky. Those are funny. Dude, the Earth Shaker, not the Earth Shaker, the Mole Grenade Launcher ones look so good. With the Ironkin. The Memnir with the big head. Oh my god. That's hilarious. Hold on, I gotta show you guys this. Hold on. I gotta show you guys this. Hold on. Let me bring it over to the main screen. Should be good. I think you guys could probably see it now. Let me just make sure there's a bit of a delay. I guess there's a pretty long delay actually. Okay, well hopefully you can see this as I wait for it to pull up on the screen. But yeah, check this out. The Thunder can look pretty sweet also, actually. That's pretty cool. I think the Berserks are my favorite one with the grots. Where did you get so many spare heads from your orcs? Are there really that many that come in a kit? That looks like a grudgeon. I agree, man. I agree. That's a big grudgeon. That's a big grudgeon. This one is the best. Oh my god, it's so cute. So funny. Okay, I think it should be back on. Whoops, that's the wrong screen. I need a third screen. Oh my god. Oh yeah, it works. Okay. Wow, that's a really long delay that I get to see what I shared with you guys. It's like 2 minutes. So forgive me if there's delays in chat catching up. I'll eventually paint the army like Death Skull since it'll all be looted. Smart, wise. Yeah, Votan Baby Carrier would be awesome. Really hope we don't get jump packs. The one in Kill Team looks so lame. I know that aesthetically it might not be super nice, but I think rules-wise it'll be extremely powerful. Just think about being able to move like 12 inches after you rapid ingress. Oh, so good. You just land somewhere and zip across the battlefield and tag something or steal primary or maybe even kill them if they're effective at killing. Who knows? How's my wet palette doing? It's a little bit dry. Last Dracon, you're finally free. 4-day weekend. Let's go, man. Let's go. You don't have any other time off for the holiday season? LMAO, it's Y. It's not Y. It's Yorktan. Oh, Leagues of Watan. Okay, that's good too. I was gonna say Orktan or Gorktan. 8k points of orcs, plenty of extra heads, but I did run out. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Leagues of Vjorktan, that's good too. Voltan jump packs will move 6 inches. Dude, please, no. Don't let Jordan hear you say that. Oh my god. He's gonna cry. He's gonna cry. Oh my god. That's so funny, dude. It's so funny, Wix. Honestly, I didn't even consider that, but you're right. They might be like 10-inch move instead. Let me just orient this a little bit better. My back is starting to give in. Six-inch movement jetpacks. Please, no. They're like just big floaties. Basically balloons. Dude, I heard a rumor. Well, I read a rumor on Reddit for Age of Sigmar, which I don't play. But I read a rumor that the new army that's being released for them in the summer is going to be like just regular old canonical fantasy dwarves, like the OG fantasy dwarves, but like remodeled for AOS. And if that happens and they look good, I think I'm going to start playing AOS because that is my favorite aesthetic, like the Total War fantasy dwarves with the shields and the heirlooms and the runes, the artillery pieces. It's just such a good vibe, right? Like, who doesn't like classic dwarves? I'm about to crash out. Dude, I didn't even think about it, but he's right. Like, Wix is totally right. They might just drop our movement on the jump packs. Probably not 6, but I could totally see them doing 10 inches. I don't know if it's faster or better for my morale to do like quadrants in batch paint or just finish one model at a time. At this point I have 2 left, so I think there's no excuse. I need to just lock in. Lock in and block in. At this point, by next year, I'll be able to do an army reveal stream where I do like a big showcase of my Votan. One day. I think that was one of the first videos I made. Oh my god. With like a horrible shaky cam. Oh my god. I don't even know if I posted it in the end. That was like the first year I had the channel, like a month in. I think I made a video of my army like on a table, and it might not have even been 2,000 points. I have to go back and find that. But I think that would keep me motivated to finish this. Oh, shoot. Saved. What do y'all think about my Iron Kit? Not bad for the first 40k model, if I do say so myself. Where's yours? Hold on, I didn't see it. Maybe I missed it. Hold on. Let me go back to the Discord. Iron Kit, Iron Kit. Where did you post yours? I guess in full-time pics. Dice, yeah, here you go. Oh, looks good, dude. Looks good. This is your first mini? Dude, that looks great. Let me share it here. People can see. Looks great. I dig the metal. Oh my god, look at that leather. Dude, Dice, that's amazing. It's amazing. Looks way better than mine. You did the little scratches. I don't have the technique to do the scratches. Maybe it's because my brush was horrible, and now I have these refined artisan lining brushes, but you did a great job. It looks awesome. Yeah, you killed it, man. It looks great. Nice. Yeah, you just have the helmets left, just the faces. Thanks for chat. Good night. See you, Steven. Take care, man. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I think that's why we're all here. We want a Gimli in space. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So, Drakon, you're telling me just patience and one color at a time? Just make my way through? Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I know you're right, but I'm still not happy about it. The thing with painting is it's truly the biggest test of will because the process overall is I hold on, let me rephrase this. The end result is really nice and fun and satisfying, right? And the initial stages are also really fun and exciting because it's like you're planning and you're seeing the colors go on, you do a test model and you're like this is great. I think it's the middle work, the grot work, where it's like you got your main colors on and the transfers, and it's like, okay, the fun is over and now the work begins. And that's what always gets me, man. Is the blocking. Oh, when I used to paint Space Marines, the blocking killed me. That's what let me give up on that project. But with this scheme, I told myself I would really take my time, and it's more of a love project than anything else. The orange is really the focus of my skill development working with oil paints, and it's been really fun. I learned quite a bit. Oh yeah, I forgot to go get my Jaegers. Sorry about that, Dice. I'll go get them in a sec. I guess I'll finish this guy and then I'll go get them. That'll keep me motivated. Yeah, we're locked in for this one. Let me finish the leg and then I'll catch up with chat. Oh, the old stomach is starting to grumble. I actually don't even know what I'm going to do for dinner tonight. I got to figure that out. I spent all day baking. I made some scones. Tried some new a new scone recipe out. Some white chocolate and strawberries. Came out pretty good. but that did detract from actual nutritious value of foods. The consumption of real food. Okay, cool. Is that everything? No. I think I got good coverage, but I can't really be sure. It's too dark to tell. There's like no light in this room. All right. The bottom part of this guy is done. What's going on here? One color at a time, one model at a time. That's what got me through 225 minis. Oh, God. 220. I think this is why I would never be able to paint Imperial Guard. Though, maybe there's something rhythmic to it, right? It's like after you do it the same thing for like 6, 7, 8 hours, maybe you just like, you enter like a flow state. That's the only way I could rationalize it, because I was quick to say like that seems like it's impossible to do, but even like playing RuneScape, which is like I play a lot of RuneScape, and it's like I'm just mining away like 6 hours, and it's like eventually you don't even know what time it is, and you're just mining, and it doesn't bother you anymore. And maybe this is kind of the same idea, right? It's like you get into it, and you just stop focusing on how much you're getting done. You just keep doing it. I feel like that's what I'm working towards right now. Yeah, I missed the shoulder on this guy. I have to re-glue his feet. Ah, your first 40K mini. You come from D&D mini painting. 40K finally got me into Short King's Call. Nice, man, nice. I I love D&D, and I wish I could play it more. When I was a little bit younger, like during the COVID days, so like I don't know how long ago was that, even like 3 4 years ago, I had a D&D group. It was my first D&D group, and I DM'd it. We did the Lost Mines of Fendelver campaign, which is like the intro starting box, and I DM'd it. And I had so much fun. We were playing, it was like a group of people after work, because we were like all essential workers. So we would just get together after the shift ended and bang out like a session of the campaign. And we did that regularly. And because there were no other social commitments, because it was like COVID era, it was really easy to get everybody in on it. And then once that ended and we all kind of moved to different jobs and got shifted around, then the problem started with people having availability. And then we tried playing online once, and then it just ended. And it's such a shame, man. I would love to. My dream, genuinely, for the channel, whether it's on this channel or like a channel B, would be to have like a wider scope gaming channel. I love tabletop games, I love board games, I love role-playing games, and I think that would be so much fun to produce like a high quality like D&D campaign to people to follow along with on YouTube. I think that would be a ton of fun. So it's definitely something I'm quite passionate about as well. Do you ever do any coaching? No, I don't do any coaching, man. I would feel bad charging people because I don't play like I don't go to like big events, right? So I feel like I do have a really good understanding of the game, and I feel like I'm good at talking about it and teaching people it, but I just feel like it's insincere if I would charge someone for this information that I make for them free online and try to help as much as I can. I guess like if people have like I look at coaching kind of like tutoring in a lot of ways. Like I feel like my goal has always been like information free online for people, and that's always been my priority. So with a lot of my content, I try to make it long format, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but I always try to make it so people could kind of jump in at different skill levels and understand a little bit like how the game works and try to break these complex ideas down, like with my deployment video I did in the index days, which did really well. People found that one helpful, which was great. I kind of have an idea that I want to do in the new year, so I'll give you a little teaser for it, but the topic is going to be around kind of like goal setting in the competitive scene and competitive growth as a player, like how to actually progress from different levels that are like tangible and measurable and improve as a player by working on these specific topics, basically, that we would outline for people. And it's going to be like me and somebody else that are kind of like working on that. But yeah, like I've thought about the idea of coaching, and I think coaching for me is really like more so like tutoring, where it's like I'm trying this thing out that I am understanding, and like it's not working for me, or it's like I need some help with figuring this out. Like, what would you do in this situation, or like how could I improve? I think that's what it's really good for, and I always try to like soft tell people like don't spend money just like getting what's already online for you, unless you're either trying to like really go fast in the hobby in terms of your development as a player, or there's something you're just really not getting and you need some help with. I think that's where I would look at coaching, I think. So that was a bit of a tangent. But all that to say is that I don't do coaching because I just feel like it's insincere for me to promote something like that, because I don't feel like I have the like credentials for it in terms of like a competitive track record of winning GTs and things like that. And I try to just make it free for people online to follow, but of course it's not as personalized as a result of that. Maybe something in the future, or if there's demand for it, that could be interesting, but I wouldn't want to put it out there myself, basically, is the idea. I've been toying around with a brand fast list that includes a full brick of Hearthguard and a Capricus and Sagittarius to split the Warriors and the Jaegers into two for backline screening and infiltrate. Yeah, I mean, so I play Brandfast quite a bit, and I do have a carrier with Jaegers and a Sagittar with Warriors. But I don't think the Hearthguard are too great in that detachment. It's a bit of a trap because you give them sus if they land next to a vehicle or they activate next to a vehicle, but it's not ideal, and you're still going to be strength 7. I think the points are better spent, but I haven't tested it extensively. So maybe there's something there for them, but I'm not a big fan of that, personally. Now I'm inspired. I'll bust out the Jaegers and cover a bit more. Great. For sure, man. That's what we're here for. It's a hobby night. I'm here to this inspires me to hobby because it motivates me and forces me to paint. And hopefully it helps other people kind of settle down and chat and paint too. Because it's always fun to feel like you're painting in the company of other people, right? Sharing in a community and being part of a group. It's a great feeling to just kind of like hang out and talk. And also a big thank you guys for talking so much in chat and asking me questions, because that's always a really daunting part of streaming, is if people aren't asking questions or talking, then it's kind of just like, they're watching you paint instead. So it's always really nice when you guys are engaged and you ask me questions and we talk like this. It's super fun for me. It makes the stream a lot more enjoyable. So thanks, everybody. All right. Fell behind on this guy. I got a little too distracted. Alright, let me finish this guy's upper body. Oh, alright, he's getting there. He's getting there. I think I need a bit more paint on the palette. Yeah, eventually put the 2 transports on either flank and threaten a deep strike of Hearthguard next to one for a big brick of shooting. Yeah, like in theory, like it works in theory, but I feel like it's so much harder to actually get that perfect scenario to line up on the table. And what I have found with Brandfast is it doesn't push super aggressively, like all that well behind, like beyond the midpoint line. What I have found in the matchups I've played. So the Hearthguard are probably going to be defensively used, so it could work. I guess it could work. I would need to try it. I don't feel confident enough to say like it's bad because I haven't tried it. I do personally think like you're better off going with more Thunderkin and things like that because the sus is a lot more meaningful on those units with the conversion beamers. But like I said, man, like try it out and maybe there's something there. Maybe it's worth exploring. I do wish I was talking with one of the Discord members, the Discord users, Brad Meister, I think, inside of the Brandfast channel on the Discord, and we were talking about that exactly. We were saying like we both kind of wish that there was a little bit more support for Hearthguard because having a deep strike piece is such a valuable tool, and that's probably the biggest weakness I think with Brandfast is like you don't have. You already are a pretty honest army, and then now you don't have deep strike either because it's just not really supported. So I think that that would be interesting to explore if it actually works out and there's value there. All right, let me finish this guy's upper body and then I'll catch up on chat. What happened here? Did the stream cut? I don't know. I got a little reset on my browser there. I don't know what that was. Hopefully it didn't cut. Hopefully we're all here. Online doesn't feel the same as in person in D&D. I've DM'd for my friend for her first ever game, a heist. Oh, that's pretty sweet. My first character was a gnome barbarian. And there was a rabid chimp that eclipsed on enemies and clawed the heck out of them. That's pretty funny. I do agree. It's not the same online. There's some ease of use with like, maps and um, like helpful cards and things like that that you could pull up on a share screen, but it's not the same. The whole point is like it's supposed to be a super social experience, and I feel like you just can't beat that in person. It's the same reason I don't like playing on TTS. I don't play on TTS. I use TTS for some videos and I use it to practice deployment when I have an event because it's absolutely a very helpful tool to go through all the maps quickly and set your army up and then just reset deployment and try again until you get something that works. But in terms of actually playing on it, I just don't think I'd ever want to because I spend a lot of my time just online in general, like for work and like hobby, like just playing video games. And for me, Warhammer is something that's supposed to take me away from playing online and in person with people to socialize. So it feels like I'm kind of defeating the whole purpose of the hobby by playing online and looking for online games. And I agree with you, same for D&D. I think largely like it's just a much better social experience in person. There's no distractions, like everybody's kind of like on the same vibe. And that's how you make like really core memories. I still remember, like, this was over 4 years ago. It was the only campaign we ran, and I still remember, like, so many key moments that I could bring up, text any one of the people in that group, and they'd all immediately remember and start dying of laughter at it. At just the holistic table experience of that encounter or how it went down. Still rolling? Nice. Okay, good. I'll check yours out too, Austin, in a sec. Let me just finish with this dude here that I've been holding for way too long in my hands. Ah, shoot. I actually massacred this. Oh, I didn't catch that soon enough. Okay, that kind of worked. Okay, this guy's almost done. I'm starting to get a little bit sloppy now with it, which is not great. And the wet palette's starting to be a little bit less wet too. All right, sweet. Just this guy's backpack. And then that's number 5 down. I hope you guys have also been making some good progress tonight in your backlog or current collection. Sweet. I think he's good. Yeah, he's good. Boom, number 5. All right, they kind of look good. They kind of look good. I like it. All right, Austin, let's see what you've posted. Where did you send yours? Oh, wow. Drakon, you already have a barrack proxy? That's crazy, man. He's stabbing New York. I feel like I always see you doing these crazy kit bashes. It's insane. I mean, hey, you just saved yourself on a $50 kit, dude. That's awesome. He's got the little Ironkin head, too. Yeah, that's sweet. I think I mentioned this at the start of the stream. I don't know if you were there for it, but I'm also looking at doing a big kit bash for the rest of my Berserks that are going to be in Delve. I really wanted to, just to save some money and not own like 100,000 Berserks, I'd pick up some warrior kits and then I would just do a little conversion and attach the weapon, like the axes, the plasma axes to them. So they're just, kit bashed versions of Berserks. Save some money, change them up a little bit, and not have too many of one unit. I couldn't find your pictures, Austin. Which channel did you put them in? Or what's your Discord name? Maybe I missed it. Ah, experimental. Okay. Okay, that's why. Let me pull that up in a sec. Let me just finish this guy's lower half. Okay, I understand why Jordan recommended just doing 3 at a time. Or basically half squads and not a full one. Although, I do feel like I'm getting pretty fast at this now. All right, let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. Lost track of where I was at again. Hold on. Before I pull up Austin's picture here, I did promise myself I'd finish this guy's legs. See, it's good. The suspense keeps me engaged. Okay, I think it needs to be a little bit more diluted. Yeah, that's better. Oh, I'm getting too sloppy here. Maybe I'm going a little too quick. All right, cool. There's a couple little cogs left on the bottom part. Nice, okay. I think that's almost done here. Still trying to figure out which color scheme I'm going to start with. Would it be a good idea to just do all the major league color schemes and bring them all in my army? That's not a bad idea, man. Like, that's pretty unique. They have been known to work together, I'm pretty sure, in the lore. Is there, if you don't know where to start, I would actually recommend maybe reading a little bit about kind of the background of each one of the different leagues. And from there, maybe you'll gravitate a little more towards one over the other. Or just the colors in general. The leagues have some pretty nice ones. Like, to be honest, they're all pretty good in terms of how they translate to the models. I'm a big fan of the Trans-Hyperion, obviously. I like the Grimdark Chronos Hegemony. I like the UCSR green, the military green one. It looks great. Even the regular old Thurian League. And then, of course, red. Just the regular red for the Ymir. I think it's the Ymir conglomerate. I'm pretty sure it's that. All right. All right, let me take a look at your work, Austin. I'm a man of my word. So you said your name is Experimental. Oh, cool. Okay, okay. I like the inverted scheme you did on your second. I was gonna say Echamp on your the Hesir. That looks nice. That's sweet. Nice. Fellow Trans-Hyperion fan. It's just the best one, man. It's just the best one. Yeah, the metallic cowl head. All right, I like it. You also got the Warriors completed, I see here. Hearthguard brick. Yeah, the orange does pop, so I think he did a great job with that. Yeah, it looks great, man. The orange goes so well with gold as well. Like, I'm just looking at the gold helmet of your E-Champ. It just works so well. T. Louis, hello, chat, and Voltan versus 40K. Welcome, welcome, man. Welcome to the stream. I have a question about the Tim Delve list. Do you know what he's deep striking and what goes in the land forts? Well, I know that he usually runs. When he was running 35 Berserks, he had the. Well, inside of the land forts, he keeps his 10s. So the 10-man bricks go in the land forts. And then I think he bounces the 5-man up and down with the enhancement. And he probably also bounces a 10-man, if I had to guess. Or do you mean more so like which loadouts he uses? Because that's probably going to be matchup dependent, that one. But really, he just fills those land forts up to capacity, stages them, and then you could use them to either cycle units out, or you could spread like your advance and charge on maybe a unit that's further away, for instance, things like that. Come down from deep strike. I'm pretty sure everything else is like pretty much in deep strike, because then you could just come down and keep trying to hit charges at rerolling charge rolls inside of hostile acquisition, which is pretty good. You'll have to post some pictures of the Pioneers. Yes, for sure, man. The Pioneers have me stumped a little bit because I don't really know what direction I want to go with the bikes. If I want to have them be predominantly black and then just kind of like just some highlights of orange in some certain panels, or if everything should be orange. I've seen GW do kind of like both. There's this really awesome post GW has, this article. I don't think many people saw it actually. They did like a huge, what is the word I'm looking for? I'm too tired. What is the word I'm looking for? It's like a diorama, a huge diorama of the Trans-Hyperion Alliance kind of excavating a crashed ship, and there you see sort of like how they went about doing their paint schemes for the different units, and it looks beautiful. It's so nice. That was a big reference for myself when I was picking out what needed to be orange versus black. I can't believe we're getting there. I put this off for many months, and we are now almost fully blocked in. We're locked in, and we're blocked in tonight, boys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a little bit too dark now to be able to see anything meaningful here. So I'm blindly stabbing into crevices. Is this low res? It might be low res, to be honest. I have a 4K camera, but I think it might be a bit too zoomed in right now, man. Um, let's see. If I pull it up here, I should be able to see it in 2 minutes. But if the stream is any indication from what I see, it does look to be a little bit more blurry than what it should be. Where is it? Let me see. Yeah, this is a webcam, so it's not like the best quality cam. And the lighting isn't amazing, but you should be able to see it when I hold it into focus. Sorry if it's a little bit pixelated and the quality isn't great. Doesn't help that the lighting isn't incredibly controlled either. Oh, you were asking if he kept the 10 mans or the 5s. I'm pretty sure he keeps the 10s and the forts. I can't speak for him, but I'm pretty sure he keeps the 10s and the forts. The Royal Magus, thanks for tuning in and joining us. Hello, my brother and kin. Love the videos. Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate that. It's super kind of you. Thanks for dropping by and hanging out on the stream. Do you think Voltan will ever actually get some sort of walker or big exosuit model? Yeah, I think we will. We were talking about this a little bit earlier, but I think we are pretty much set up now for our next release to be jump pack kin and then also some kind of walker suit, whether that's a named character or it's like just a heavy infantry or like monster slash vehicle thing. I do think we're set up for it. We're missing really like 3 things, I think, is like a dedicated tank, which would be nice. We're missing jump pack and we're missing a dreadnought. I think once we get those pieces, the range is pretty much as developed as anything else. Unless there's something I'm missing that you guys could think of. Am I painting the right guy? I'm not even painting the right guy. I was like, I could have sworn I didn't make that much progress on him. Okay, cool. Let's jump back in. All right, sweet. Yeah, I don't know how the quality is here. It's the cam I've used in the past for battle reports, which worked well, but I was able to adjust the height a little bit better, and we had dedicated lighting with the professional camera lights, obviously. I didn't set that up today because I'm at the computer desk for this, which is a little bit tight. It's also harming my ability to actually see what I'm painting well, but if it's a big issue, I could look to try to fix that up for next time. It's just a little bit harder for me to be able to view chat. Yeah, I think like a dedicated, the problem though, Wix, with that is GW feels like they gave it to us with Bury. And because of that, I don't know if it's something we'll see. But I agree, it'd be cool. Or like even a biker character, like a biker call, that could be interesting. To go alongside our 6-inch movement jump pack in. All right, they're getting there. Couple more drops of paint, and I think we are good on the black. Yeah, Jordan, I had like money on that, man. I was positive we were gonna get jump pack in with this wave. I was shocked that we did not because the kit, the mold exists. We've seen it in Kill Team. It's there. It's very real, and I could not believe that we didn't get it, especially because I don't know how like in tune you guys are with Age of Sigmar, but I see the model releases every now and then for them online, and the dwarves in AOS, the sky dwarves, I forgot what they're called, Caradron, Overlords, something like that, Caradon. Those guys, they got some newly released jump pack guys, like equivalent to jump packs. So I was like, okay, they're gonna for sure mirror this, and we're gonna also get some as well. But I was wrong. I even had it on my bingo card when we did the reveal stream. All right, just a couple little details to pick out on this guy. Nice. And then just the fuel tank in the back. Cool. Is this good? I think he's done. Let me get a little bit of black in this crevice. Oh yeah, this knee joint I gotta clean up a bit. This one gave me problems. I don't know why. Okay. It's looking good. So there's just this little backpack knob. Oh god, every time I say just this one thing, I notice another one that didn't get a full coverage. I settled on purple and gold theme for my army and making them a gem crystal in my lore. Oh, dude, that's cool. Are you also gonna do the skin as like kind of like crystallized dwarves? I'm thinking kind of like Magni Bronzebeard in current day World of Warcraft. Maybe I think now he's actually not made of gems anymore. I guess like previous few expansions, Magni Bronzebeard since Cataclysm, in World of Warcraft. Check him out. He's basically a dwarf who's made of crystals. And I always thought that was cool. My original scheme is actually blue skin and purple skin dwarves, which I found was nice. Like thematically, they were like dark iron dwarves for anybody who plays World of Warcraft. But yeah, that was kind of like my initial inspiration for painting these guys. I think we did it, man. I think they're all blocked in. Look at that. Oh, looks good. I hope the camera actually kind of shows that they are looking better. I won't lie, top down, they look like stealth suits, which is pretty funny. Jaggedized Mini. Yeah, Jaggedized Mini is sweet. Wonder if they are saving up for an 11th edition Voltan push. I don't think so, man. I think this was our push for the next, like, at least the next edition. At least the next 2 years, I think. 2 or 3 years. Usually, I think that's how they do it in cycles. And then we're probably going to get, like, if they continue this trend of, like, every codex you get a character, we'll probably get, like, a jump pack character. I could see that happening as well. Something like that. Yeah, probably more likely 12th. Or, as the new trend goes, we'll have something released through Kill Team, which potentially could be the Jump Packers. Playing Classic right now? Hell yeah, man. Hardcore or just regular? Another YouTuber I watch asked for each faction's wish list, and for Voltan I asked for a one-time drill transport. That would be sweet. That would be sweet. I think that's something that thematically would fit really appropriately as well. Would be some kind of dwarven, like a mining drill. It just pops up. Like the mole grenade launcher. Like take that mole grenade launcher and like the little mole that comes out, the mine, and just stretch it up. And I think that would be a pretty sick transport. Yeah, World of Warcraft is real. Yep. I definitely feel that. I wasted many, many hours and days and years of my life on that when I was younger. Yeah, a subterranean drop pod. I think that'd be cool. You pop up like 6 inches away or something. That'd be pretty crazy. All right, let me do a quick check on these. Quick spot check. Do I need to paint anything else? Did I miss something big that I can't cover up with the next layer that goes on this? Not really. So this guy's good. I forgot that I battle ready painted these guns already, which is nice. That'll save me some time. This gent is good as well. I think I missed a little bit here. Cool. So you're good. What about you? Oh, this is the guy that broke off his base. Gotta be careful with you. Yeah, you're good. This guy's missing a little bit here. All right, you're done, my friend. And 2 more. Okay, sweet. This guy's done. And the last gent. It gave a single unit deep strike and was armed with a melta-gun or cannon. Is that, oh, the Forge World? I remember when that was used. I remember before that got sent to Legends and it existed in the game. Which army had that? I don't remember. Was that Chaos? I can't remember which army had that. I think GW is trying not to skew too much into the mining vibe of Voltan. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that was one of the biggest points of contention with the second wave that was released this year, was that people were kind of expecting it, myself included, to be honest with you, to follow the same thematic trend of being like dwarves mining in space vibe, you know. And it was not that. It actually felt like a little bit more like urbanized, like we were looking at like a suburban, a more like city centric release wave with like RoboCops and mad scientists from the guild, and then we had like those frontline cars, like the carriers. So I agree with you. I think they're trying to broaden the scope of the theme for Voltan compared to what people were usually probably expecting. That's why they didn't go with like, you know, oh, here's a giant mining machine. But also at the same time, like that stuff's really cool, right? So I think people would be happy either way. Um, and I think probably I'm a little biased because I like the dwarf mining vibe, and for me, the Earth Shakers were like the nicest models they released with the new wave because they fit that aesthetic so well, you know. All right, I think this guy's good too. Sweet. Guard. It was guard. Okay, Admic has a drill transport. I think they have somebody has a drill transport. I remember seeing one. No, white is really nice, dude. White snow with the base would go exceptionally well with the orange. If you want to see a really solid picture, go look in the Discord for Exalted Sorcerer. Like type Exalted Sorcerer as the user, and check out his Trans-Hyperion Alliance scheme. I forgot what it was called. I was going to say Greater Thurian League. Check out his Trans-Hyperion Alliance scheme. He uses snow bases. It looks really nice. Mine are a little more grimdark. Let me actually show you guys what I got from mine since I finished painting. I'm no longer at the desk, but you could probably still hear me very clearly because I am strapped with the mic. All right, let me pull up a couple sample models, show you guys what I got. Yeah, I'll sample this guy. Yeah, this is good. This is good enough. We'll sample these. All right. All right, so check this out. So these are my OG Thunderkin with the conversion beamers. Big mining vibes, right? Like, check that out. Oh, maybe I'll hold it here so you could also see it. I don't know which one's clearer. I don't know which camera's better. But yeah, look at that. Like, you know, dark iron dwarves. They're all in grimy, dirty, chipped armor because of like whatever debris. The base too is very like lunar themed, with kind of like this space dust on it, being white and powdery. So this was kind of like the vibe of my first army. I just really leaned into the mining. And when I saw the second wave, I hesitated because I did not think this scheme would translate super well, because the whole aesthetic and vibe felt different. It didn't feel like it was the same mining oriented vibe, but rather one that's more centric around, like I said, like more urban-esque and exploring and like on top of like not subterranean, I should say, above ground. So then this was kind of how I pivoted. So the next things I painted up were these warriors. So this is kind of like the first test run kit I did, the first unit in the orange scheme. So this is them fully finished. Now they have more of like a surface planetary base, and they have kind of like this oxidized armor. I know you can't really see it that well here on the camera, but if you go on my Discord, which you could join free of charge, and you go to the Votan Pics channel, you'll be able to see a HD pic of them. And it really just kind of like captures, I think, the essence of space exploration and kind of like this weathered suit. Like it just has all these like hazardous, like gaseous, like weathering on it, which I think just like leans in really well. And then here's like an example Jaeger I did. So he has like a super simple like leather cloak that's, you know, it has some chipping on it, a little bit of edge highlighting to it, stippling, and then, you know, he has his nice orange vest, and he's kind of like that frontline explorer with above ground base. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Random. I appreciate you stopping by. Have a great night as well, man. Take care. If you don't rock and stone, you ain't coming home. Ain't that the truth? All right, guys. Well, it looks like I made it through all 6 of these Thunderkin, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. So a massive thank you to everybody for sticking around and motivating me to get through this this batch. I think at hitting the 3 hour and 30-minute mark, I think I'm going to call it here, boys, and I'm going to end up going to go make some supper because I'm pretty hungry. I had all these paints here as well because I was like, oh, I'll definitely be able to get through painting, just blocking the black in and being able to do like the highlights and the leather. No, a bit too ambitious yet again, but I am happy that I got at least this whole step done. So thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. It was a pleasure chatting with you all tonight. And I don't think I'll have any other videos coming out before the new year hits. So I'll wish you all a very Merry Christmas, those who celebrate, happy holidays, and a happy new year. And I'll catch you all in 2026. Thanks so much, everybody. I really appreciate your support. Have yourselves an excellent night. The Ancient Kin misses out. Thanks, Wick. Always a pleasure to you as well. Thanks, buddy. I'll see you guys around on the Discord. Take care, everyone. Be safe.